So everything serves a divine purpose, everything, every one of us. While we are humans, we all have this God particle in us, this God source, because we come from this. So by that logic, we are also that. We are also these divine little beings just walking around this earth, thinking that we are these electromagnetic humans. I believe we're here to grow, evolve, and help each other do the same thing in love. In love. I love love. That's why we're here, to love. True freedom comes from surrendering control, from surrendering that you know nothing about this experience. That is what shines. That is why light is one of my words. What is beautiful about me is my heart, my soul, my journey, the lessons that I have, the wisdom that I carry, and the light that I am. Because when I sit authentically in a space of being me, embracing me for every bit of my story, the good, the bad, the very, very chaotic, when I sit in those spaces, my light shines brighter than any line that could be taken away, than any breast size or waist size. What is beautiful about me is here. So success to me means being happy, authentic in who you are, shining just as you are today. I am who I am, and it has always been enough. That is success. That is abundance. Abundance looks like joy and not from some exterior circumstance. Abundance is peace, joy, fulfillment from inside, from learning what this experience is truly about, and then going and using your gifts to turn other people's lights on. That's what abundance looks like to me. My life today is so abundant. It is not your job to explain anything, because the people that are meant to understand will understand. It is your job to continue to walk forward with your eyes on the prize, with your eyes on the goal, with your eyes on the destination. Let whoever think whatever. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. And because of this thought process, you will lose people. So when you say to the divine, hey, I trust you and only you, the divine will test you and say, okay, let me see how much you really trust me by taking away everything in your life that makes you feel comfortable. And that is when trust, hashtag trust. Because if you don't trust the process, you won't make it. That's okay that you forgive, but this does not serve your highest purpose. And even though you love this person, you will unconditionally love them from afar. And I had to learn that lesson. I lost friends. I lost just about every person I considered to be friends. I chose to put my hands on a tree and say, I trust you. Show me what it is I need to see. I got a divorce. I lost my father. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my job, everything. I lost everything, but I didn't lose anything. It happened for me. And man, how beautiful, how great thou art. It is. How beautiful for your life to fall apart. How beautiful. You're like a whole different person. It's so weird. But you know what she says to me? That matters. I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you, Mom. That is the only opinion that matters to me. I've gone through a lot of life changes in the last year and what I would consider a Kundalini awakening. It was a very, very difficult experience, both physically, spiritually, emotionally. But it is a beautiful experience because, again, that is where this awakening in my life took place. Since this awakening has happened, everything about me has changed. My appearance has drastically changed. The way that I speak has drastically changed. The way that I mother and parent my children, everything that I believed this world to be, everything that I believed myself to be, everything that I believe you to be, how you show up in this world, how I'm supposed to show up, completely changed. Everything about my diet, the way that I dress, every single thing. And it's all a result of that specific awakening. And I am so grateful for it. There is no right or wrong way to wake up. And that is how I got my Kundalini awakening, with a partner, with another person who I believe to be divinely led and guided in all the ways that matter. It was probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was the scariest thing, honestly, that happened to me. because I didn't even know that's what it was called. For anybody who has ever experienced a Kundalini awakening, you're not crazy at all. Your health is not declining and you're okay. It is a very jarring experience. It is something that I will say I wish I had been prepared for. I wish I had known what it was. You can send yourself into massive anxiety attacks if you have no clue what's going on. It can be scary for sure. But if you have an understanding of what it is, meditate about it, pray about it if that's the verbiage you want to use, and have an understanding before you go into it. Don't ever go into it the way that I did. And that's why it is so important to not force somebody into this type of awakening. Because if you don't have the understanding that these things are happening for you and not to you, it will feel like the whole world is against you. I can unconditionally love people, but unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance. In fact, the best unconditional love that you can offer is that you give to yourself by putting up boundaries. I was very grateful for that because when I am just in a state of existing, I feel so much better. I feel like I can receive messages, I can receive things better. I just feel more connected. When I'm disconnected from the world, I feel more connected to source. And when we feel more connected to source, then we are able to understand what our true purpose here is. I would call myself a generational curse breaker because I am one of the first to start breaking these belief systems that we don't have to live by anymore as adopted children. I have a child who I gave up for adoption some years ago. I had an affair and I got pregnant with this child. And I did not connect with her at all throughout my pregnancy because I was so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. I knew I was going to have a tough time with this even before I had her. And this is something that is deeply, deeply personal about me. I'm also adopted. I was abused in all of the ways. We'll just put it that way. It was a painful awareness because I don't have good memories with my mother. I was more so the caretaker of her rather than her the caretaker of me. I still wanted a relationship with her. I craved this relationship with her because as a child, we all crave to know where we come from. My first language is Spanish, but I am not fluent, not anymore, because I suppressed so much about my past that when I was 6 years old, I forgot how to speak Spanish. I am vastly different than anybody in my family. I grew up, it was all Caucasian people. I have black hair. I was a lot darker than everyone around me. I almost felt this sense of shame for who I was because I didn't fit in. I found my birth mother. She was in a jail at the time. I didn't even remember I had testified against her in court when I was 6 years old, and I was responsible for putting her in jail. I will never forget seeing my mother for the first time. So I grew up in the church, and I mean, kingdom kid is what we call it here in America, somebody who is in the church all the time. Oh my gosh, I was in heaven. I got to learn about Zoroastrians. I got to learn about Buddhism, all of the things, and holy smokes, my mom didn't like that. But I loved it because I was like, wait a minute, this is what I've been searching for my whole life. I knew there was not just one way. There's got to be other things. And I turned my back to religion entirely. And this is going from being very involved with religion to saying, nope, I never felt valuable enough for my partners, for the people around me. And my solution to that was to get Botox, to dye my hair all black, to look, sound, and follow like everybody else. I was very into the ways of this world, but I started having this very deep knowing and understanding as I delved into Wicca that there was something more. There was something more that I could not see, but I knew that something more was in here, and it was not to be found out there. With self-accountability, with connecting with our own traumas, is where religion is found. There is nothing wrong with living in the ways of the world because it serves a purpose.